Hello, I hope you're doing amazing. I'm so excited. It's November, it's the fall, it's beautiful. I mean, these are the kinds of things we're seeing outside. If you have a beautiful fall picture, will you add it to the comments? I really think nature is super healing and I love seeing fall pictures. So please, please, please share your favorite fall pictures. It might feel like I can live vicariously through all of you and see different parts of our world. All right, today, what are we talking about? 3 simple ways to guide empowered change through conversation, through communication. I have a question for you. Are you serious about supporting people around you to change? And I'm not talking about how you want to change them. I'm talking about ways they might want to change and you supporting them. If the answer is yes, then stick around because I'm going to give you 3 simple ways. And I kind of alluded to an important foundational item, which is if you are really serious about empowering change through communication, it can't be about you. So you almost have to decide, okay, I am going to step aside and I'm going to focus on the person in front of me. And I'm really going to do my best to empower them to change. It cannot be about you and it cannot be about what you think should happen or how you think someone should change. So I hope you're with me. If you're still with me, that you want to help empower someone else to change and you are willing to step aside and not make it about you, then you're in the right place. So, what are these 3 simple things? All right. There's 3 simple things that you can do to support someone in an empowered way to change is. I promise I'm going to get to it. I have one more thing I need to say. How do you know it's the right time when you're talking to someone and they say, "Ooh, I really want to eat healthier," or "Ooh, I really want to be more active," or "Oh, I want to write a book," or "Oh, I want to save more money." When you hear that type of language where the person you're speaking to wants to make a change, this is where you can step in and you start to use these 3 simple tools that I'm going to teach you. Number 1, ask the person what matters most to you. What's the most important thing in the whole world? And give them a little time and space so they can answer what matters most. Now, what does this have to do with the change they want to make? Everything. Because in order for the person you're speaking to be motivated to change, to truly be motivated to change, it has to connect to what matters most. So you can really help someone by asking what matters most. And then you can follow it up with how will making this change connect to what matters most to you? How does it affect what matters most? Help the person you're speaking to make that connection. One, what matters most to them? And two, how will that change that they're verbalizing they want to make be affected by what matters most? So here's an example. Let's say someone you're talking to is saying, I really want to be more active. I need to exercise more. And they start talking about how their labs weren't great the last time they went to the doctor. You can say, "Great, what matters most to you?" And then they might tell you, "My family. My family is what matters most to you." All right, well, how will being more active help your family? And then that person can now start connecting the dots. Well, if I'm more active, I'm going to make a few things up. Maybe they'll have more energy. What matters is that you're engaging this person to understand what matters most to them and how it connects to the change they want to make. All right, silly, simple tool number 2, ask open ended questions that help the person you're speaking talk about why they would benefit from changing. So, this is what I mean. Ask questions like, why do you want? Desire is very powerful. So, why do you want to be more active? Why do you, being active is the example. Why do you need to be more active? How are you able to be more active? Why do you need to change? So I hope that makes sense. We don't want to ask questions that elicit someone to speak about why they can't change or the negative side. We want to ask questions that get the person speaking to why they want to change, why they need to change, why it's necessary, why it will benefit them, why, what are they able to do. I hope that makes sense. At any time, you can ask any questions in the comments, or if you don't feel comfortable, send them to me private message. Okay, so step number 3. This one's simple, but very important. After the person you're speaking to has identified what matters most, and after they've made the connection of what matters most and how that relates to the change they want to make, and after they've been talking about why they need to change, why it's important, why it's necessary, what they're able to do, it very naturally leads to commitment and ability. So now you want to shift your questions to start asking, what's your next best step? So let me tie it all together. You just shared that you'd like to be more active because your labs were not good the last time you went to the doctor. You shared with me that what matters most is your family, and being more active will help you to live longer and be with your family longer and will give you more energy. You shared that you need to be more active because you sit most of the day and you don't feel good. And, you're able to be more active in small ways throughout the day, et cetera, et cetera. So it cues us up, and it I'm sorry, I'm losing my words today. Oh my gosh. It sets you up to ask about commitment. So the last step is just asking, okay, what's the next best step? What are you able to do? And if you want to take it a step further, you could ask the person if they'd like some accountability and for you to follow up. But even if you do nothing else, you've really done a wonderful, wonderful service to someone you're speaking to in empowering them to change using their own motivation. So today's talk was all about 3 simple ways to guide empowered change. And we identified first, it cannot be about you and what you think the person needs to change. It has to be about that person. If you are a yes on that, then you can start by, if someone is talking to you, whether it's a colleague, friend, um, someone in your community, and they are discussing potential change that they want to make, you can help them in these 3 ways. 1, ask what matters most to them and have the person connect it to the change. How will that change affect what matters most? Step number 2, you want to get the person talking about why they want to change, why they need to change, why they're able to change. And you do that through open ended questions like, why is this important to you? Why do you need to? Why is this necessary? And lastly, after they've really convinced themselves that this is really important, you ask them, what's your next best step? What's one small thing you can do to start making this change? And if you want to go the extra mile, you can offer to hold um, the person you're speaking to accountable. I really hope you take this on a test drive. It works beautifully, but it only works if you use it. And if you ever have any questions, let me know, because if you have a question, other people have questions, and I can address it for everyone. I hope you have an amazing day. Please consider sharing this out if you found it helpful, and thank you for tuning in. Bye.